I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 3-on-3 podcast, the #1 basketball podcast in the universe. I'm your guy, Hans, here with my guys, my compadres, Evan, Lou, and the Pod Mamba in the background, making sure that we continue to be the #1 basketball podcast in the universe. Hope you fellas are doing fine. Today, we're going to jump right into it. Let's get it. NBA All-Star. Yes, we are approaching my favorite time of year, the NBA All-Star. Although I have been critical of how the NBA has been handling the All-Star game in general, I'm still excited, but yet terrified of it coming. We won't be talking about the All-Star game today, though. We'll be talking about these votes and the current standings of these NBA players and the fan vote. So, fellas, I'm going to jump right into it. We're going to start with the West Coast, West Side. And for the front court, we have Nikolai Jokic as #1, LeBron James #2, Kevin Durant, Victor Wembanyama #4, Anthony Davis #5, Alperen Sengun, Lou's guy, man, from Houston #6.
Told you.
He did. Lou did tell us. He did tell us. #7, we got J-Dub, Jalen Williams from OKC. Andrew Wiggins making an appearance, y'all. #8. 9, DeMontis Sabonis. And #10, Jaren Jackson from Memphis. On the guard side, we have Shea Gilly, #1. Stephen Curry, #2. Luka Doncic, #3. Kyrie. Ant-Man. James Harden, #6. John Morant, #7. De'Aaron Fox, 8. Devin Booker, 9. And Norman Powell rounding out the guards on the west side. I'll start with you, Evan. Who are you surprised to see on this list as of now? We know it's not closed yet, but right now, who are you surprised to see on this list?
I'm doing great today, Hans. Thanks for asking. So
Hey,
as
man,
we talk about, it's a little fourth wall humor there for you.
There you go.
But talking about this All-Star, I'll go positive. Slight shade. I'm surprised Andrew Wiggins is anywhere on this list, but outside of that, happy to see Wemby where he's at right now. Pleasantly surprised to see him 4th in the list, simply from the standpoint of I don't think it's the French contingency stuff in the ballot boxes. This is straight off of the merit of his play. And he's more than just a fascinating sideshow. He's a legit defensive player of the year numbers, averaging 4 blocks a game as of today, which hasn't been done since 1995. We're talking Dikembe Mutombo territory. So running away, I think, with defensive player of the year rankings, but also still giving you 24 and 10, close to 11 a game, and has solidified himself as a legit offensive threat in this league. What he's been doing the last 2 months has been incredibly impressive. Although the hype around him is immense, he's checking the boxes and he's living up to otherworldly hype so far. So to see him already at 4th in these rankings, behind LeBron and KD, who from name status is going to be there, and Jokic, who's clearly 1A player in the world right now. I give Wemby a lot of props for being 4th on this list. If you would have asked me 6 weeks ago, I would have said AD clearly would be the one started next to Jokic in the front court. Right now, I think it's a strong race between those two to see who will be started next to him. So I got to give Wemby his props so far.
Facts. Lou. How good does it feel to see Alprinson going on this list, man? How you feel about your guy
Man,
being on there?
look, I mean, coming back from injury, he's really come in and showed out. He's up on all stats this season thus far, except for scoring. He's only down about 1.5 points in scoring, and I think that just is the nature of Houston's identity changing, right? Really being more defensively focused. But nah, he's showing out, man. He's being exactly what I expected him to be with the potential that he's shown. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all. He's on this list, and I'm just glad that everybody's really recognizing it, and he's getting his moment to shine. But yeah, but similar to the Wiggins, surprised to see Wiggins on this list. I am surprised to see Devin Booker, and it's less on my decision, and just more so just focusing, yeah, more so focusing on the star power in terms of the amount of guards coming out the West. So I mean, rightfully so, seeing him is there, but him. I'd be surprised to see him make the roster. At best, I think he slips in as a reserve if somebody gets injured.
I feel you. Go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead. Give your take. I don't want to jump on that too fast. That's me.
No. I was gonna move on to something else. So if you have something else to say about that, go ahead and say it now before I move on.
Well, I know, I know where we've stood historically on this show as it relates to Devin Booker. What I would say, him being ninth on this list surprises me in a different way. Not that I think he's deserving of being an all-star. I do think he's having a solid year statistically, but him being ninth on this list, he's legitimately behind, I'd say, 6 players on that list that are legitimately having better years as he is from a guard standpoint. And that's not a shot at Devin Booker. That's talking to the strength of the guards in the West right now.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying. I mean, as much as I would love to make it about, how much I don't care for Devin Booker and his game, but yeah, it's just like you said, it speaks to the strength of the guards on the Western Conference, especially these young guys coming up.
Okay. We'll move
Being
on.
ahead of Norman Powell isn't saying much.
Norman Powell's having a year though. I mean,
being behind James Harden is interesting though.
Yeah, like let's not sleep on Norman. He's having a career year this year, so he's.
We know it's your guy, Hans. We know it's your guy.
No. So listen, I'm also respecting it though. He's having. I'm happy to see him really get out there and make it happen. I guess for me, it's like this. I think about other guys too. So I was debating whether I should bring it up now or when we finish the East Side, as far as like people who left off. I think about Jalen Green off of the Rockets, averaging 21 or so, doing well. I think about Laurie from the Utah Jazz. So I just think about
he deserves
those
nothing good.
All right, Lee, you gotta let that hurt go from the.
I gotta let the hurt go. My bad.
You gotta let the hurt go, Lou. You gotta heal, man. You gotta heal. But I just think about other guys as well too, though. But as you guys stated, though, the guards, that's a hard sell right now. The guard play is really deep in the West right now, so yeah, it's tough to say. But let's move on to the East, guys. East Side, we have the front court number 1, the Greek Freak. Number 2, Jason Tatum, who could be a guard as well. Number 3, Karl Anthony Towns. Number 4, Evans Guy from the Orlando Magic, Paolo Banchero. Big market, a lot of TV for them. Number 5, Jaylen Brown. Number 6, Evan Mobley. Number 7, Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Buckets. Number 8, Franz Wagner. Number 9, Joel the Process Embiid. Number 10, Jared Allen from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 1, LaMelo Ball. 2, Donovan Mitchell for guards. 3, Damian Lillard. 4, Jalen Brunson. 5, Trae Young. 6, Tyrese Maxey. 7, Cade Cunningham. 8, Darius Garland. 9, Jordan Poole. Interesting. 10, Tyler Hero. And guys, just a reminder for those listening, this is the fan vote. This is the fan vote. So, Lou, I'll start with you. I think this list is a lot more critical than the West Coast list. Who raises the first eyebrow for you on this list?
Joel Embiid. Like, what is he? Come on, bro. Like, let's be real. Is he even gonna be healthy enough? Like, come on. Like he needs to sit this one out. So I think just based on the Sixers season currently, I mean, yes, they've been trying to figure it out and turning it around, but the Joel, I think he's been doing decently for what he can do, but the shell of has been the expectations of him. I think we're past the point where he's even the leader on the team, right? So he doesn't have the locker room. He isn't leading the locker room, and there's a bunch of other front court guys who have been showing out and doing better. I mean, clearly based on his,
You don't think he's the leader of the team, Lou? I didn't say whether he was a good leader or not. That's up for debate. Yeah, I've said it vocally. I've been vocal about how I don't think he's a great leader. You don't think he's the leader of that team, Lou?
Tyrese Maxey. That's the leader of that team, bro.
Oh,
that's the leader of that team.
I disagree.
Veteran really? Oh, okay. Like veteran presence, PG. Look. Here's the thing: if your guys got to call you out and that leaks out into the public, what leader have we heard of that? Other guys on the team have had to say, "Hey, he's not showing up," and being the leader and setting the example.
It just means he's a bad leader. Doesn't mean he's not a leader. He's just a bad leader.
If nobody wants to follow you, how can I call you a leader?
I don't know, man. Here's my thing. I think currently he's still the leader on that team. I think whatever he says goes on the court. I think he commands when he's on the floor. Let's start there. When he's on the floor, I think he controls the offense. I think whatever he says essentially goes in how he's feeling. Now, whether he's a good leader or not, I've been vocal about that. I don't think he's a great leader. I think he gives up sometimes. I think he's too easily frustrated. And I also don't think he does a good job of motivating and making players around him better, right? I think he makes certain players better, but I don't think he makes a lot of players better.
I think what it is, by proxy, the fact that he's the franchise player, he gets that pull. I don't think it's leadership. I don't think he's the leader. I think he's just like, yo, I'm the star of the team, right? Even though we may not be good, I'm not necessarily showing out like expected, but my name has the most weight here. It's not necessarily that I'm the leader of the team.
I guess, how are you seeing Maxey being the leader? I don't see that. When it's on the court, it's clear. When they're both on the court together, it's clear who's running that.
He defers him. Yeah, he defers him. But
how are you the leader if you're defer? I don't know. I guess we're discussing All-Star and we can keep it moving. But for me, it's clear as day. Maxey is like, I'm happy to be here. I'm out here putting buckets. I'm doing whatever the team needs. But he's not rallying. He's not doing that when Embiid's on the court. He's not rallying the troop. He's not. He's just here. He's just here. So I don't know. That's my take on it. I'll give you an example. Jalen Brunson. When he came, he was the clear leader. He rallied everybody, even when Julius was back. You get what I'm saying? He was still rallying the troops. People were looking at him on the court. Like, you could see, like, that was, the shift was happening. You feel me? For Jalen Brunson from Randall.
You talking about the captain.
Who's the best player on that team?
You talking about the captain. Jalen Brunson. You talking about our
Captain Jalen Brunson. My bad. Let me put some respect on his name.
Okay.
My question is this: who was the best player? Who was the best player on that Knicks team?
I mean, it became
even
Brunson
when Randall came back. Even when Randall came back, who was the best player on that team?
At that point, it was Brunson.
But he was out.
But let me say this.
Okay.
What y'all are describing in Philadelphia is what we talked about and what I talked about 2 weeks ago. They don't have a leader, and that's the problem. Embiid is not a leader, so the team is leaderless, right? And to get it back to the All-Star discussion, what y'all are describing is what are you looking for in your best player? Is the best player requirement come with being a leader, or is it just being the best player on the court? Because that's what y'all are describing right now. Maxey may has looked like the best player on the court, but he's not the leader because Embiid is supposed to be the leader, but he's not doing so.
But
So the title,
when Embiid is healthy, y'all still think Maxey's the best player on the court?
we're talking about this season though, and Embiid
Oh
hasn't
yeah,
been
100%.
healthy
Because Embiid
this
hasn't been healthy.
season.
Yeah,
That's what we're
Embiid hasn't
talking
been
about.
healthy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is like, for me, the tone changes, right? The tone definitely changes when Embiid's on the court, whether healthy or not, right? What I guess for me, Randall, when he got back, you know what I'm saying? Like the tone didn't change because Brunson was here and everybody knew where it's going. You feel me? So my argument is, if Maxey's the leader, when Embiid's back, that tone ain't changing because they're like, hey, Maxey's been. You get what I'm saying? That's my argument to it. If Max is the leader, when Embiid gets back, that tone ain't changing because everybody's like, hey, yo, he's kind of been leading us. Same thing that happened in Boston, right? Which is why Kyrie left. Remember, he wasn't here for a while. They're like, bro, we don't need to listen to you. We've been doing this, right? Like, who you trying to lead? You feel me? Like, we don't need your leadership. We've made it this far without you, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I was pushing back. I didn't mean to derail the show, but that's
Nah,
kind
man,
of
this we here to talk basketball. Okay, we here to talk basketball.
And what makes the conversation good is because when I'm looking at the East, it leads me to begging the question of, what are people voting for when they're voting for their all-star, right?
Listen.
Because when I look at this list, and I don't want to get in any trouble.
Brunson at 4 is wild, but go ahead.
I mean, listen, man, your attempts to throw exactly behind
it's wild.
Behind
it's
Dame,
wild.
Yeah, I agree. That is wild.
Yeah, he's too close to Dame.
Dame.
He should be at like 6. That's wild. That's wild, man. That's
sleep at night, man. Let me tell you something. I bet I don't want to get in any trouble.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Throw it out there, man.
I'm not.
See how much juice you got left. Go ahead. You plugged in?
I saved this one for offline. But when I look at Embiid, when I look at Jimmy Butler, when I look at Jordan Poole on this ballot, I'm reminded, and especially in a day like today, I'm reminded that these are the same people that go to the ballot boxes and vote for the leaders of this country. Whichever way you lean.
Mouthful there.
I'm just reminded when I look at this ballot.
Brother, this guy stinks! You couldn't have said it better, brother.
I'm not gonna get us in any trouble because I support everybody. But another surprise that I do have outside of that, which comes to this conversation of what we're voting for in the All-Star. LaMelo Ball is a top vote getter at the guards. Now, on one hand, when LaMelo's on the court, he's looked amazing this year. I can't lie, offensively, right? He's looked amazing. His team has looked hopeless. And so when you're talking All-Star, are we talking the individual that we just want to see? Or are we talking this player, their team somewhere? Because on one hand, I would argue LaMelo shouldn't be top 5 in the guards. But on the other hand, he looks great when he's out there. So that one I struggle with.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lou.
That I was about to say, see, that didn't get into how we had the MVP discussions, right? What are the criteria that make you MVP? versus what just makes you an all-star. I think the all-star goes down to the sum of your individual effort, right, at your position. That's what people are evaluating on position versus position, or rather guard versus guard, forward versus forward, or front court versus front court. At your position, are you one of the top guys, right? Same thing when you look at NBA, first team, second team. And then the MVP conversation, then I think the element that you were talking about with LaMelo Ball is a key component, right? How does your individual play, what does that mean for your team? Both between the success of the team and also, your overall, if they remove you, how integral you are to your team.
But I hate to boil it down to and trivialize it though. But I think the All-Star though has a stronger popularity component about it, because if you look at the numbers, like, come on, man, Jordan Poole, like 21 points.
Look, all of DC's voting for him. All the DC's voting for that man.
Logo Poole, baby. Let's go.
Oh, here he goes. This man moved to DC 2 seconds ago, and he's out here repping it hard now, man. That is wild.
Allegedly.
I think that's just a popularity contest, man. I'm sorry, because if we want to be real, if we're just going by what Lou was saying, like if we look at more stats, like you mean to tell me somebody like Zach LaVine, who statistically, you get what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, tell me somebody like Jalen Johnson couldn't crack the top 10 in the front court off the season he's having for the Hawks.
Yeah,
I mean, there's names out there that it's like it's just strictly popularity, because there's talented guys that don't reflect.
This is the fan vote, right? So that's where we expect the popularity contest to really play a role, right? Because some people, what you consider the casual fan.
Some people have been voting for Dame for 12 years, man, and they just going to keep voting for him regardless. I get
put myself on mute now.
Oh, my gosh. We're doing this.
Regardless if he plays for their team or not. They just...
Or he's consistently...
I can't leave him alone. Not that good guard game, but the bad boy turning me on.
I'm gonna let you have it for a second. Or Dame's been consistently a top 5 guard in the league. I'm just saying.
I remember when Russ told him there's All-Stars and then there's Dame. My bad. Keep going.
Yeah. And what happened? He made All-Stars. So what happened?
Finally. Oh, my bad. Okay.
What happened? I'm just saying. What happened? Listen, and Russ was struggling for years and years. He's just now on a good team. Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying, man, listen, you can put it up whatever, however you want to do it, but Dame's numbers don't lie, brother.
Listen, I'm just happy I made it out to play in, man.
Listen, man, I'm just happy Brunson's finally popping.
Giannis took it up a level,
Ooh, I'm just happy Brunson's.
I'm just happy Brunson's finally popping for you. He's finally
and I'm happy
playing.
that Dame trade Scoot draft picks finally working out for your team. Why you clapping for this other team? I'm glad your team finally reaping.
It is. No, I mean, it's Portland all day. I'm ride or die with Portland, man. I'm gonna give you your time in the sun too. I'm gonna give you your time in the sun.
Oh man,
have it.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna let you have your time in the sun, because just like us, your last championship was in the 70s.
I figured out.
Just like us. Just like us, your last championship was in the 70s, so we in the same boat, brother.
Hey,
so have a seat right next to me, okay? Have a seat right next to me.
What are we talking about right now? Milwaukee and Portland. I can't keep up with you, man.
Okay. It don't matter, because we're still in the same seat.
Denny Avia on this, man. The best player for Portland right now. Where's he?
Y'all riding the same bus?
You riding the same bus, 1970s. The same bus.
2021 without Dame. What you talking about?
Ain't nobody talking about Milwaukee. We talking about Portland. You need to stop flip-flopping.
I was talking about Milwaukee. I was talking about Dame.
Nah, because you brought up Portland. We're going to talk about it. If you want to talk about it, we sitting here in the 70s still trying to make it out.
We're not sitting in the same boat, all right?
Okay. Boat, bus, plane, car, motorcycle, unicycle.
The Cooper flag discussion was last week when we were talking about Portland, so I'm sorry.
No, listen, man.
You're getting your episodes.
And you know what's going to happen after this year? We're still going to be in the same boat. Last championship in the 1970s. It's you know,
I'm not
it's
sure
gonna
about that
be.
'cause we got Patrick Ewing, but
Oh, here we
Oh
go.
my
Here
God!
we
Stop
go.
disrespecting the legend.
Here we
Look. I'm
go.
saying
Here we
breaking news. Last
go.
time the Knicks won a championship, Rosa
With
Parks was
73.
fighting to sit on a bus, per sources.
Yeah, 73. We won in 77, so I'm just saying that's tough.
you right, man. You right, man. You
That's
was there
tough.
still too. Oh no, you weren't. My bad.
Neither were you. So hey,
I didn't read
again,
the
F,
73. You bringing up
again,
stuff you didn't see.
we're sitting in the same boat. Like we're in the
So me
same
and Bob
seat.
Mama, the only two that have seen championships in our lifetime.
Yes, you and Pop Mama are, and this man right here. That's the problem with this country nowadays, man, boy. We won't get there, though. We won't get there. That's the problem. That's the problem. All right, y'all. Let's move it on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's unite and be one brother. MLK Day. Let's stop this black on black crime. Black on black crime, man. Let's go.
You had to like
Today, as we're recording,
Day.
go ahead. Say your last joke off. Hold on. Let me let the people hear it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let that one slide.
Okay, I'm giving you the chance. Go ahead. So
I'm all good, my brother.
okay, all right, got it.
He
So
said, lick shots.
MLK Day today, a time of remembering Dr. Martin Luther King, who did so much for the country and so much for civil rights, not just for actually African American people, but a variety of people of different cultures and colors, and bringing the country and people together. We also know that the NBA has a tradition of exalting this day and taking pride in number one, making sure that each team does a community engagement, which is what I like about it too. So they highlight each team's community engagement in their community during Dr. King Day. And if you guys aren't aware, our listeners, please get out there and volunteer. I think that is one of the biggest highlights that I do love. It's not just another day off to chill, to wild out, to do anything, but please get out there, volunteer, give back to the community. I think that's one of the most beautiful things that I love seeing, outside of course, the games that we love to watch, but just seeing everybody out there making a conscious effort to get out into the community and help out, I think is the best highlight. And I applaud the NBA for highlighting that and putting that first and foremost. And also what I like that they do too is bringing back legends of the past and letting them share their experience with the social inequalities that they experience and how it really puts into perspective. Although we like to celebrate our advancements socially, this day, I think, also puts into perspective as well, too. Although we've come far, we haven't come far enough just yet. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, man. Stop showing pictures of the MLK era in black and white. It wasn't that long ago. There was plenty of color. Okay? Stop making it seem like it's some ancient history. Come on, man.
That's the
Put some
marketing
color
coming
on
side
the
of Lou,
photo.
man.
Yeah.
Lou's like, there was color, man. There was color.
Yeah, stop playing. Stop playing. Trying to make it seem like ancient history. Nah. A lot of those folks are still alive today. So put some color on them photos. Let this generation know that that's still recent history. That's still recent history. Stop playing.
Facts.
Stop. While we on it, and stop using AI to put MLK on your club posters too.
Okay, see, I'm actually okay with that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Go ahead.
That is the most Atlanta thing you said.
I'm okay with that, and maybe I'm just morphing into an AT-alien. I'm okay with that, man. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. He's a man of the people. Okay.
Look, man, I don't want to see
a man of the people.
Flyers with MLK smoking hookah. Okay, with a grass wall behind him. Stop pissing me off. MLK not at brunch. Okay, he was a reverend.
Why he not?
He's a reverend. He was preaching.
Lou, I mean, I don't mind the black and white. I mean, it was kind of a long time ago. I mean, the 60s, that was like the last time the Knicks won the championship.
Oh, man. Don't do that. They won it in 73.
Where's his old brother? This guy stinks.
You need to button to Ev?
Button yourself, okay? Button yourself.
No, I'm okay with it, man. I'm okay with it. He's a man of the people, man. I think he'd laugh at it. I think he'd laugh at it. It's Atlanta. I guess here's why I'm okay with it, because nothing is out of bounds. So you know how we have those shows like South Park, Family Guy, where they'll make fun of everything, nothing's out of bounds. Atlanta will put anything on a flyer. Nothing's out of bounds. I'm okay with it.
You know, I'm gonna watch that Boondocks episode with MLK.
Oh, with MLK again? Yeah. He wouldn't be happy.
I'll say one more. Yeah,
Just
one more serious thing real quick. I'll just say, especially, today, this week, whatnot, folks stressed about what's going on in the world. I would use a day like today, like Hans said, a day of service, a day of getting out, a day to recognize that, on your block, there's plenty of good that could be done today.
Facts.
And not to be fully immersed in what potential bad is going on in the world. What's happening on the news and on the TV isn't day to day as impactful as what you could do on your block today, tomorrow, this week. So just a reminder to everybody that, we can make a difference in our communities, right? In our immediate circles, if we pull our heads up out of what's happening in the ether. So, all right, back to basketball.
Well said, Evan. Well said. Well said. Get back to your block. Well said. Now, there were some great matchups on today. Most notably, you had the Minnesota Timberwolves against the Memphis Grizzlies. I think that was a great matchup. It was actually Minnesota was leading the way all up until the fourth quarter. Minnesota was looking like, they were going to get some get back. But Memphis, man, Memphis came back, and Ja really gonna have a spectacular game, but that's what to me made it such a great comeback, was that the Memphis Grizzlies were able to do it through defense and as a team as well too, and some timely buckets, some timely threes by what's his name? Ev. He's the guard. He's real swole. His name
Bain, Desmond Bain.
Bain, yes, Bain. Yes,
Oh,
some timely. He looks like a running back. No. I knew Ev would know.
Oh yeah,
he looks like a running back, man, like a fullback.
He's been they big 3-point shooter since he been there.
Yeah, no, but he had some timely buckets though during that run to get him on there. So I'll ask this question out there. This is 2 times now, because they just played. What was it? 10 games ago, not too long ago. And
that was like last Saturday, 2 Saturdays.
Yeah, it was like 7, almost a little bit over a week ago. And Memphis won there as well, too. Does this end the argument? Like, who's on top? Has Ja officially snatched it and said, look, I'm still that guy. I am the next face of the league. Is this a statement game, or does this have to be settled in a playoff setting?
Well, I think what it does is I think it's bigger than Ja versus Ant. I think what it really spells out is team building and who's doing a good job at it versus who's doing a poor job at it. You look at a game like today, Ja had a decent game. I think he had like 19, but this game was led by Jaren Jackson, who in my eyes should be a lock for the All-Star game. He's been probably the most consistent Grizzly this year, fulfilling some potential that he's flashed over the last couple of years. And Desmond Bain, strong game by him. And then again, defensively, Ant went off this game, but nobody else on the team went off. I think Randall scored in like single digits. Nobody else had more than 12, 13 points. So when you have a team like Memphis, top 5 in both offense and defense, with the core that's been together now for 3 or 4 years, finally healthy, with role players that, Brandon Clark coming back from injury, and a lot of solid players on the team, right? Memphis is showing you how you build a team for consistent success. When you look at what Minnesota has done to this point, yes, they went to the conference championship last year, but this year struggling to get out of play in range right now. Is Minnesota doing the same for their star, Anthony Edwards, as Memphis has done for Ja? That's a question not just for this game, but a question that I think is going to be really in the spotlight for the rest of this season, for the next couple of years to come.
Yeah, Lou. With that question, man, I'll let you answer that. Has Minnesota done all they can do for Ant-Man, or are they failing him?
Well, I think one of the big things is we can't jump out the gate that they're failing him, because I think they made that trade with him in mind, right? With Randall for Cat, and really giving him the keys, and trying to give him still somebody who can supplement that team in a way that their game would translate and should have had some harmony, for Minnesota to have some success. It doesn't seem to be working, so I don't think that we can come out the gate now and just say, "Oh no, they failed him." I think we're going to have to see how the rest of the season plays out. Can they get it together? When coming up to the trade deadline, is there some pieces that they can potentially look to add on to steer this ship back on track, or is it you then look to the off season? Who else may, because there's plenty of teams right now who are going to be blowing their stuff up. One of them that you love to mention is New Orleans. Could somebody like B.I. be useful for Minnesota, right? So I think that it's still a little bit early to just write Minnesota off, but we are starting to see some discontent from Ant, but I think it's too early for it to be like, well, okay, it's not going to work, and he should consider moving on. I think Minnesota is going to continue to try to work the situation so they can have the right pieces around them for them to be successful.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if I'm ready to say they failed. I will say that this wasn't the best move. I don't think that Ant is happy with the current roster configuration right now. Yeah, I don't think he's happy with it. What I will say is that also Minnesota does have a little pressure, just because historically speaking, star players have left. It's Kevin Garnett, Kevin Love.
Well,
so
Kevin Garnett gave him a long time.
No, he did. That's what I'm saying. But history is giving them pressure. Like, can they get it right? Without angering or wearing thin the patience of the stars. And then this new generation is not like Kevin Garnett. They're not going to stick around for as long as Kevin Garnett did, right? The quicker to move, the quicker to request a trade.
I mean, didn't they traded Garnett? They traded Levine, Love situation that they get. He slid. But, I'm trying to think about how many of their stars that actually just was like, I'm out, other than Love. I think it was more so, they gave up on their roster and just traded, because I think they just didn't feel
Levine.
like they could. Yeah, they traded Levine. They got him.
They traded Levine for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jimmy, crazy question for you. Julius Randle, I love Orange Julius, but long term, this chapter isn't going to end well. We just kind of see that, right? The final year on his contract. Jimmy Butler, final year on his contract, although he has a player option. Contract's kind of similar. What if they traded Julius Randle for Jimmy Butler? Bring him back to Minnesota with somebody that has maybe a similar mindset.
Dog-like mentality.
Yeah, dog-like mentality. What do I think about a trade like that, since everybody's looking for Jimmy destinations?
As much as I would love it, Jimmy holds a grudge. They would have to pay Jimmy, and I don't think they're going to pay Jimmy what Jimmy wants. It's about
I don't think
money
they'd
for
have
Jimmy.
to, though. It'd be 1 year. Yeah, it'd be up to him. He pick up his player contract or his
We
player
need to look
option
up
or
the
he doesn't.
stats. I wish we could look it up, and I wish I would have asked Pat Mamba early on, but I don't think Jimmy's played in Minnesota since. He's made it a point not to play in Minnesota. Like, he'll sit out purposely and not play in Minnesota because he hates that organization and hates that front office. So if he's taking it to that length to say, I'm not going to play, that's a hard sell, Ev. I mean, 1 year, right? A 1 year rental, who knows? I mean,
This
okay,
lady
if
knows
they say,
no
"Hey,
bounds.
we're gonna trade you to Washington or Minnesota," I get it. I'd rather go to Minnesota, right?
Your,
So I get it. Or New Orleans or Minnesota, like
your persistence at stepping on
I
the
get.
toes of any team that I want to be affiliated with today
You want to be affiliated
is
with New
bothering me.
Orleans?
No, you said Washington before that.
Oh, I was just thinking last
trying
teams
to
in East
feel the
Conference.
temperature.
Washington, technically the last team in the Eastern
Oh
Conference.
no,
Just
not even
like
technically, my boy. Figuratively, emotionally,
okay, everything league.
everything.
And then the Pelicans, the last in theirs. Well, actually, Utah Jazz. I apologize, Utah Jazz.
Listen,
So,
man,
I don't know,
Zion's
but I
back,
like
man.
that
They're
though.
rising up the rankings.
You're right. They got 3 wins in a row. You are right. They're coming up. They're coming up. Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? Zion. Shout out to him. Why is he not on the list? Does he not have a fan base? He's not on the All-Star list. Does Zion not have a fan base? You mean to tell me Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins,
I think Wiggins is still
Jared
that Warriors
Allen.
effect. I mean, come
Jared
on, Jared
Allen.
Allen. I told you, man,
Darius
top
Garland.
center in the league.
Darius Garland all have bigger fan base than Zion, number 1 pick?
I don't think OnlyFans shorties really vote.
They don't vote like that, man.
It's a different algorithm there.
Them and drive-through workers at fast food chains. I don't know if they log on to the app.
Let me tell you something. Raising Cane's has a cult following, okay? If the good people that follow Raising Cane's could, vote for Zion. But I think that speaks to how his stock has fallen in the league.
Plummeted.
I mean,
Plummeted.
you gotta be available, But what's funny, what's fickle about that? 3 good weeks from him could change that. 3
You're not wrong.
Zion-like weeks could change that. But yeah, one person we know we won't be seeing this year at the All-Star game.
All right, y'all. Cool. All right, we're gonna move it. Oh, go ahead, Lou.
No, I'm saying you don't think he's gonna? He'll flop anyway. He'll get him some in and out.
You want to know? Okay, real quick. You know what would change the entire? You know how he could flip his perspective just like that? Sign up for the dunk contest.
I think that he should do it anyway. Forget even just trying to get on the All-Star roster just for anything to raise your stock back up.
I think that'd give him some more positive PR. I'm not against that. I think that definitely give him some more positive PR. Yeah, not a bad move, not a bad idea. All right, y'all.
You could put a burger on the rim, jump,
stop it,
grab it,
Lou, stop.
I hit the buzzer, man.
Stop it. All right, y'all. We have this new segment called the Fast Break, where the Pod Mamba pops in and he gives us topics that we have not practiced or heard of. And how much time we got? A minute, 2 minutes for each topic, Pod Mamba?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, you already ruined the title. It's called Buzzer Beaters, but I guess
Buzzer
you can call it
Beaters?
Fast Break.
Okay, well, I didn't know it changed from Fast Break to Buzzer Beaters, so there's that. So we'll call it Buzzer Beaters. We'll call it Buzzer Beaters now. Fix that in the end credits, man. Post production.
No, don't worry. I just fixed it right now. There we go.
Okay, Fast Break. See, so it is Fast Break. I like that better. That's why.
My
That's what
God.
happens when you're the host. Go ahead.
All right, guys. There's just we're mostly going to be talking about like a lot of these rumor mill things, the trades and stuff like that. So I just want to just start going through them really quick for you guys, because I feel like this whole week has just kind of been a downtime for NBA and just all the drama that goes on in NBA season and stuff like that. So we're just going to get into trade talk, because that's it's always good to talk about that. First one I'm going to talk about is Cam Johnson. you guys think he's worth 2 first-round picks? And where's his best spot if the Nets trade him?
For Cam Johnson, I think there's always a player that as soon as he gets traded, it feels like an overpay. And I'm 99% sure Cam Johnson will fall into that camp. The defense isn't there. The three-pointer, while solid, is streaky. The creation off the dribble isn't consistent. So
you don't think there's potential for him?
I mean, how old is he now? How old is he? He's been in the league for a while. I know he's not 30,
but he's close. He's about 28.
Yeah,
he'll be 29 this year. He'll be 29. He's been in the league for a little bit.
Yeah, he is what he is. He's on North Carolina a few years ago.
Oh, he's supposed to be in his prime. Never mind.
Exactly.
So he was drafted 2019.
Yeah, as like a 4-year starter out of Carolina, or a 4-year player out of Carolina. He is who he is at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would say no.
2 first rounds, no.
Well, I answer it like this. It depends on the team. If it's a team that's perennially drafting in the 20s, maybe. If he's like that missing piece, but I don't see first round picks who's a fourth option on a good team.
He's not even the best cam on his team. Like, get out of here. 2 first round picks. You're not even the best cam on your team. Cam Thomas has better stats than you.
I'm about to say, you think he's better than Cam Thomas? He's not better than
Cam Thomas. They refuse to start him.
Cam Thomas is in purgatory
Thomas
for whatever
buckets. He messes up their draft stock.
That's what happens. They got to sit him down.
That's how I'm saying. He ain't got nothing. Ownership and the GM's plans are not Cam Thomas's plans. All right.
That's why they've been
buckets and chew bubble gum. All right. And I'm all out of bubble gum.
They're benching D'Lo recently.
You said what?
So they've been benching D'Lo recently because they don't want to keep winning.
That plus minus is too strong. They got to sit. They got to sit D'Lo down too.
They saw D'Lo and Ben Simmons assisting people and getting free buckets. They're like, yeah, we can't have this. We got to sit these dudes down.
Trust the process.
Well, oh my gosh. I bet you a team like Philly could use Cam Johnson right now. Shoot, Milwaukee could use him right now.
But 2 first round picks, I think that's a little
2 first rounders?
Not for 2 first round picks.
You got to match his contract too. I mean, $20 million. Do people have that to match? I know the Lakers don't. Anyways. All right, guys. Next one. The Suns are the favorites for Patrick Williams, who's on the Bulls. They are according to Bovada official. The Phoenix Suns are plus 300, followed by the Miami Heat at a plus 400. The Wizards, for some reason, plus 500. I don't know why they would even be buyers. The Spurs at a plus 600. The Thunder plus 700. Utah Jazz plus 800. Again, I don't know why they would be buyers. The Cavs plus 900. The Mavericks at plus 1,000. And the Pelicans at plus 1,200. Lou, this is your account.
I'm about to say,
what's going on with Pat Williams?
First of all, don't know. But if this is true and not just fishing, then we're likely looking at a fire sale coming up in the off season. Because Williams was somebody that we looked at as a solid piece, and I don't anticipate Vooch is going to be here much longer with us. But a team I do see where it will make it, well, if OKC didn't have Hartenstein, I can see OKC as a real destination for him. Patrick Williams,
what is he, 6'9"?
Him
6'7".
Yeah, 6'7".
I'm not understanding the appeal.
DJ Tucker center? Like what?
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not understanding the appeal. So I need to educate me on this. I'm not seeing it. He's not even averaging a double. Like,
yeah, I mean, maybe because they're thinking about whatever.
Yeah, is his defensive game kind of there?
I mean, yeah, he's kind of like he's some sort of presence, a Hartenstein type of guy, or an undersized guy who plays bigger than his height. and then he could shoot a little bit. But I mean, I don't know what we would actually get for him. I don't know what the Suns' appeal is for him. What is it? Are we looking to get from the Suns? Because I don't want Beal anywhere near my team. So, like, what is it that we're really going to get out of this?
Beal makes $50 million, bro. Like, it wouldn't even be just Patrick Williams. You guys would have to add like half the roster just to match that contract.
Basically. So, no, I mean, I don't see what unless we just say, look, we're looking for picks. Again, because we're looking to do a fire sale come the off season. That's the only reason why it would make sense. But I don't get the appeal for Patrick Williams right now. If anything, he's just like, he's a good guy to have in the rotation to give you some depth. But I don't see any team where he really plugs in any holes for.
Listen, if you guys are in a fire sale, I'm ready to bring back Lonzo.
You're blocked. You're blocked. You're blocked. You're blocked. Excuse me.
Patrick Williams is the reason that the French use the word potential.
That's an evanism right there. All right,
Enough said.
Next one. Does anyone want Yusuf Nurkic? Who wants this?
Oh, I'm going on this one.
The Suns are begging for teams to take them.
Hold on. I'm going on this one. I'm putting cases. I'm getting my Denzel training day. I'm putting cases on all of you mother out here. Because y'all was out here trolling me, especially Christian and Evan, talking about, oh, look at you. Look at Nurkic. He's playing great. Don't you wish you want him back? Look what happened. All right, I'm telling you, y'all out here just
I'm trolling you.
Out here just lauding him as the best center in the league, and look at it now. He's regressed to his mean. Listen, man, y'all out here, y'all deserve what you get, Phoenix. Yeah, now sit down and eat some humble pie, all right? Served by Nurkic, all right? Sit down and eat that, all right? Boy, man.
Yo, Hans was waiting for this moment.
Oh, I was waiting for this, boy. Yeah, woo, yeah.
He said,
I just
so
understand
great.
how does Yusuf, how does he go from like getting 18, 15 games and then being like the fourth string on that team? Where's the middle ground? Like where you go from? He went from a starter to not even like a D League starter for the Suns.
He doesn't do what they need him to do on the defensive end, and also he doesn't stay engaged long enough. And lastly, he can't stay healthy. That's it. That's really what it is.
He tries against the Lakers.
Zubac so bad. They want Nurkic.
Yeah, they want him to be Zubac or Valanciunas. He's not them.
Who?
Or Steven Adams. Tunis. Or even Adams.
He plays defense? Oh, interesting.
Or even Steven Adams. Like,
he at least gets rebounds. Listen.
Yeah, he does.
We'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out on Tuesday. We'll find out on Tuesday what he does.
14 against Shai. He's getting 14.
He's going to be an all-star against the Lakers. That's what's going to happen.
We'll find out, I guess.
25 minutes.
All I know is Nurkic is on his way to China. So,
listen, man, they better eat that
Bosnian pie. Is an example of one man's trash is another man's trash. Okay?
You guys think he doesn't fit anywhere? No one has use for him in the NBA?
Nah, you know,
no, not necessarily.
If you're a team that just needs a big body to preserve one of your bigs, yeah, you need somebody who's gonna give your big guys a break. If a team like Houston, where we can save, give Sengun a breather, but realistically, you have to take him and have a lineup that's going to be able to supplement whatever he lacks, his weaknesses lack. So he's like, okay, you're not going to take him as a true rim protector because he's not that. You know what I mean? So, okay, maybe somebody who's going to get you some boards, but he's really somebody who's going to give you garbage minutes.
He'll get you some buckets. So, like, he has a better offensive post game than Bam Adebayo. Right?
Oh my God!
That's not saying much.
Some Bam strains going on.
I'm just saying he has. If you're asking me if I want a bucket in the post and it's between throwing it to Nurkic or Bam, I'm throwing it to Nurk. just throw that out there 100%. Now I'm just saying I watched him in Portland for years. I think I should know. I'm just
All
saying.
right. So Gabe Vincent and Jackson Hayes for Nurkic. I'll take that.
I think it's also his contract too, though. I think it's his contract.
I think
Portland paid
he's
him a
only
little too
making.
much.
I think I just looked it up right now. It says he signed when he extended it was a 4-year.
Oh,
$7
they
million.
changed it out? Okay.
So it's 17.5 million, which is not too bad. I thought it was more than that, but
All the bad
Anyways.
teams have a center that they're willing to work with right now. That's the issue.
well, speaking of centers, guys, the Dallas Mavericks, they're shopping Daniel Gafford and they need a defensive wing. Could you possibly see Gafford being moved somewhere? I mean, the
Wait, they're
defensive
shopping
wing.
Gafford?
Yeah, there's rumors they're shopping Gafford, and there's rumors
That's
that
surprising.
they're eyeing one of the wing defenders on the Pelicans. I'll let you decide on who that one is.
Murphy?
Maybe.
I'm about to
I don't
say.
know. I feel like
Huh.
I don't know.
If I'm New
Gafford,
Orleans, I'm
really?
honestly not doing anything right now but shipping out Brandon Ingram and letting the rest of that team just round into form. I think Gafford is because Lively has a better connection with
Luka.
with Luka. He's younger and he shows more promise. So if you had to use one of those pieces to get something of value back, you would hope you would get it with Gafford. It is surprising from the standpoint that I felt that they were on something solid when they basically got 48 consistent minutes out of their center position that got them basically what they look for at all times from their center position. What's the guy? I'm blanking on his name, but the pseudo center that they've had for years that was always injured. He was injured in the playoffs last year. Who was supposed to be their 3-point shooting.
Maxi Kleber.
Yeah, Maxi Kleber. Yeah. I feel like they've given up on that experiment and just said, "Listen, we're going to go traditional for the full 48
Can't stay
minutes."
healthy.
Yeah, so to hear them potentially pulling the plug on that is fascinating.
He dropped 31 and 15 today against the Hornets. I mean, they still
Yeah,
lost.
he was a big player. Gafford for Williams straight up. Who says no?
The Lakers say no because they need Gafford. Anyways,
That's what I'm saying. Gafford is surprising to me because on the offensive end, I think he does better than Lively, but also Lively plays better with Luka. I get that 100%. If Luka's going to be on the floor most of the time, I get that. But Gafford, they just got him last year. Like,
I don't know. They signed Clay to that big old contract, got rid of all their defensive wings, and now they're like, oh, we need
so
a
what are
wing
you going to
defender.
go after? Herb Jones or Murphy?
Murphy? I don't know.
and,
I'd say Herb Jones is probably more
I can see-
gettable. Like I said, if I'm
Well,
New
hold
Orleans, I'm not letting
that
go.
thought.
Murphy.
Hold that thought, because it rolls right into the next one. Is everyone available on the Pelicans?
like the Brooklyn Nets, yes.
Mind you, I had to change this topic because I initially had Jimmy Butler, but Evan got ahead of me anyways. Do you guys think everyone's available on the Pelicans?
Look,
I do not. I may be in the minority, but I do not.
Everyone should be available, but like Evan, realistically, Zion's not available. Everybody
DeJounte Murray?
else is.
Is he untouchable?
I don't think he should. I don't think he should be. I think this is a horrible start of a team that was trending upwards for the 2 years prior. Now Brandon Ingram, yeah, he should be gone. But the rest of the team, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy has looked excellent this season. Missy, the center that they drafted this past year, he's finally answered what they've been looking for as a
You
defensive
watch too many
rim
Pelicans
center.
games.
Listen,
What
man,
the
I'm just
hell?
saying.
Their draft selection.
You
everything?
watch too many Pelicans games.
I use my league pass. Okay,
Yeah,
clearly.
he uses his league pass.
Listen, we're gonna pay for it. I'm gonna use it. All right.
Yeah, clearly.
McCollum,
Watching Magic games, watching Pelicans games,
Right.
man. Watching Wizard games.
Let me tell you something. If while you watching this TNT, you should save your $160. That's all I'm saying. But keep splitting it with me, my boy. I need that.
I got you.
Don't listen to nothing I just said. All right.
But I got you. I gotta get Portland somehow. They don't come on live TV. They don't go LTNT, man. So,
but I say that to say I think Ingram needs to be out of there, and I think
Zion.
McCollum, just from a contract standpoint,
He's
Zion,
owed dude.
yeah, he is. He is.
$35 million.
Zion, they're just gonna have to go down with this ship with Zion. I'm sorry, because
See, I don't agree with that, man. Boo him out.
This
and
is-
then, here's the thing: you're never gonna get rid of the culture's never gonna change so long that he's still there.
I feel
Who
you.
you bring in?
I don't disagree with that, but we know how it's gonna play out. He's gonna get traded to another team, and the other team is where he's gonna figure it out and look like 80% minimum of his potential. And if
Or
what
be
else?
like Ben Simmons.
Oh no, Ben Simmons doesn't shoot. That's a little different.
All right, guys, last one. We gotta move it on. Last one. Sorry, Evan. We gotta move it. We're up against it, man. LeBron says Lakers roster construction is the reason why they need to be near perfect. Does he have reason to say this, or is he just a little baby back bitch?
Wowzers.
I would chime in and say this statement. The way I feel about Zion is the same way I feel about LeBron. The culture of the team will not change so long that they are still on that team.
How much help do they need, man? They got the defensive wing that they supposedly needed, and now they even look worse. I didn't think it was possible, but I'm a D'Lo fan, so
I'll give you the last word, Hans. I'll just say I've been on record since the beginning of this season saying I wasn't impressed with this roster, so I'm not changing my stance now.
But we don't listen to you, Evan.
Maybe you should.
I'm going to say this. How very Trump-like of LeBron.
Why do you got to end it there? On MLK Day of all fucking days. God damn it.
I'm just saying it's not going to air on MLK Day. So how Trump-like of LeBron. Complaining about something you helped construct. Got it. Heard.
Hey.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. As always, remember to hit us up on our social media, check us out, and help us to continue to remain the #1 basketball podcast in the universe. We'll see you guys next week. Y'all take care.
What's up, guys, and thanks for listening. I want you to do 2 things for me right now. 1, give this episode a thumbs up, and 2, be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on all the socials at the 3on3 Podcast and send us an email at the 3on3podcast@gmail.com. We appreciate you, and tune in next week.